Hi, Beck Ann here. Thank you for stopping by my channel, Beck and Sam Crafting Fun, to see what I've been up to. I have had a very crafty week, you guys. I want this to be a hashtag Satmorn Makes, hosted by Jillian Norwood, any day of the week. And everyone, it's an open collaboration. Everyone can show us what you've been working on for the week. And I have had a busy one, you guys. I have been having so much fun. And let me get started and share some of the products I've been using for my first two cards. I've used these Choir Angel dies from Peachy Keen. They are so cute. I paired this with the Peachy Keen gingerbread doll dies and stamps, so I was using these this week for the first two cards, and I paired it with this decorative tree dies from Stampin' Up. Let me show you kind of what they look like. Aren't they pretty? Oh, I think I used this one too. But I used these in my first two cards. So let me show you those, and then I'll show you this in a minute. Here they are. Here's the first one. Isn't that cute? So I used the gingerbread. I also used the accessory dies. I don't think I brought that. But I had this piece of paper in my stash. It was a 12 by 12. I still have half of it left. And it has like velvet on it. And so that gave it some texture behind there. And there's my cute little gingerbreads. There's where I used the decorative tree dies. And I have these little snowflake embellishments that are almost like buttons, but they're flat backed. And I got those at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And then I am a lace lover, you know. I love my ribbon and buttons and pearls. So I glued some lace across the bottom and added some pearls on top, and I used a liquid stitch to adhere it. So that is the first Cutie Patootie card. And when I layered these up, I wasn't sure that it was the right paper until I found this shade. It's almost like a cranberry color, and it just made that background paper pop on the tree. And here's the other one. I absolutely love how this one turned out. So I used the choir gown and some pearlized vellum to create her dress. And for her little sleeves, there were not sleeves, and I just cut them. This is actually fabric, and I glued it on and show how I'm going to be doing another project using this fabric. So I will give you some more detail about it in another video that I plan to be doing. But using fabric in your cards is really fun, and I used it on both of these cards. I used this Merry Christmas banner die from My Creative Time, and that comes from, the stamp also is from My Creative Time. So those were so fun to create. I love it. So now this was just part of my crafting this week. I also have been using this Bitty Penny Peaceful Christmas paper pack. And on Saturday, I showed you how I made these beautiful rosette Christmas ornaments. And I will leave that linked at the end if you haven't gotten to see how I made these. So that was part of using this Bitty Penny Peaceful Christmas paper pack. And here's one more. I've already given one away as a gift to my friend Laura for her birthday. So This is the 3 that I have left. But I also made some cards with this, and let me show you the piece of paper I used so you can see what it looked like before. This paper is absolutely beautiful, you guys. If you, I will leave a link to her store in case you make my cards. I used these 4 images. I wanted you to see them before I show you the cards so that you can really get an idea of how you can use this paper pack if you decide to get it. And I love that she has sentiments, and they're double-sided, so that's the other side of that one, and this is the other side of that one. So you have a lot of versatility with that paper pack. And here's the first card that I made. And I decided I was going to make a whole video about these, and then just decided I wouldn't. I would just show them for Satmorn Makes. I just felt like you want to see sometimes the finished card and not the whole process. But for this card, I used a poinsettia die that I had in my stash. I think it might be a memento. But then I just put some gold beads to mimic the center. And I put some ribbon. And this was some glitter paper that was a leftover scrap. I had done a bunch of Christmas cards last year and had a whole bunch of scraps. And just got into those and used them for these cards. So that's the first one. And that used this here, this one. With that paper pack, you get 4 of each. And then I made this one. And this is using one of those sentiments. And this strip here is part of the paper I had cut out and then put it on there and just layered this on some different scraps. And these embellishments are from these are from Stampin' Up. I have them from a couple years ago. And I think, yes, this strip here is included in the paper with all the sentiments. So I made that one. And I made this one with the ornaments. See the ornaments? I made this one. And I just put some pearls from my stash on there. And I had this little bitty, it kind of blends in, but I had this little scrap that I used to create that little bow. I thought it went really well. And then here's the last one of those cards. This was in my stash from cutting out making Christmas cards last year. And I have these little cookie dies from Queen and Company. And I made a little cookie so he was coming out the front door of that house. And so that is how this one turned out. And I put some silvery twine back there. So those were really fun to make with her Christmas paper. And I think it's called Peaceful Christmas is that pad. So I am super excited about those too. I wanted to also tell you I made some cards earlier this week with her pack of paper that's called Crafty Queen, and I showed these, but I showed them very quickly. But I used this paper and just wanted to show them again in case you missed it. I had been practicing voiceovers, so I didn't really show this one very long. I had cut the middle of this paper out and used this scrap to put behind there. Because it was less busy, it could really show off my little sock bunnies from Impression Obsession. And I now have a beautiful center that I'll be able to use on a card and used this scrap that I had embossed and some of that ribbon that I had been using. I just wanted to show this card again because I really didn't show it very long, nor did I show this one very long. And I just love that paper, you guys. So like I said, I'll link her down in the description box below if you're interested in those papers. But I also wanted to show you some things that I just got in the mail and I'm super excited to get to play with. So Jill, who is our sponsor here for Satmore Makes, she came out with her own stamp line called Jill's Joyful Heart. She has 2 stamp sets, but I purchased this one, and Peachy Keen is sponsoring her, carrying her stamps. So all of their stamps have this peach color to them. So I will be getting to play with this very soon. So I'm excited about that. And I went ahead and while I was over at Peachy Keen, got these wavy frosting dies. I loved the shape and how many you get, 13 of them. I've already played with them. They come already on this magnetic sheet, which I thought was very nice. So I've already gotten to play with these a little bit on my cards that I'm creating for you that aren't quite finished. So I am excited about these new things. And then my creative time came in. Everything that comes out from my creative time from Emma, I have been falling in love with. But I have to limit myself and only pick my favorite things. And I do not have any cocoa mug dies, so this was a no-brainer for me because she has the marshmallows. This is called the Cocoa Mug and Stuff, but the marshmallows, these stitched hearts, the whipped cream, and there's a companion to that has the candy canes and cinnamon sticks, so I got that. And I had been watching the designers for my creative time using the holly plate die, so I had to get that as well. So these are some things I got along with the Bitty Penny holiday splash paper that I haven't gotten to use yet too. So I've been getting my Christmas presents early, you guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing my cards that I made this week. Let me bring some of them back in for you. These were my favorite, I think. I just love playing with dolls, don't you? Well, until next time, I hope you are having a great crafty day, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.